successfully retained the television championship against Ken Anderson, which is, again, a really awesome match.
Awesome match.
And on May 12th, 2017, during the third night of the New Japan Pro and ROH co-produced War of the Worlds tour, it was revealed as the newest member of the Bullet Club, replacing, at the time, Adam Cole. Baby! 2 days later, on the final night of the tour...
They haven't said it in a long time. It was fine. You could get away with it. They haven't said it. It's been great. It's been fantastic. I love it. Anyway, keep going.
So uber sensitive about baby.
Because it's shit, but keep going.
Baby! Alright, so I lost my place here. Where was it? Oh, right. 2 days later, on the final night of the tour, SCURLL lost the ROH World Television Championship to Kashada, following a distraction from Cole. The Elite minus SCURLL left ROH after December 14, 2018's Final Battle pay-per-view. During an in-ring promo for the first night's television tapings in Philadelphia, SCURLL will be confronted by The Kingdom, which was led the former to unveil his new stable, Villain Enterprises, with Brody King and PCO. A brawl ensued, which ended with Villain Enterprises standing tall. I'm actually going to play that clip right now.
Okay.
Let's discuss the elephant in the room. What's next for the villain Marty SCURLL? Well, you know what? I feel like I've been beating around the bush here for far too long now. If we're honest with ourselves, for the longest time, I've been the top guy here in Ring of Honor.
There's not a soul in that building that could dispute that.
I took the top prize that represents it. Back when I won the survival of the fittest, I earned the right to call myself the #1 contender to the World Championship. Something that I have never held. And last night, I made my intentions clear when I confronted the Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal.
Oh, come on. It's like Beetlejuice. Anytime you say world champion 3 times, it brings out this guy. Oh, look, and he has his merry band of gentlemen with him. He is a champion. He's a six-man champion.
How many times? How many times do we have to go through this? How many times are you going to make yourself look like the Melvin you are? How many times are you going to be foolish? Jay Lethal is not the Ring of Honor World Champion. I'm the Ring of Honor World Champion because I'm Matt Taven. And Marty, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Because right now, what do you have, Marty? You don't have a friend in the world, Marty. You got no backup, Marty. And you're standing here surrounded by an entire kingdom.
Nobody wanted him out here anyway.
You know what? You are right. My friends have left me. But it doesn't mean I can't make new ones.
Whoa!
What just happened?
The lights have gone out here in Philadelphia. What? That's Brody King! It sure is! Brody King! Uh-oh. Lights have fallen again. And this is complete darkness here in the arena. The electricity.
I've been seeing this.
And the rumors have been swirling. It's PCO. Here in Ring of Honor. He's alive. Brody King is here. And it's the Kingdom. Marty SCURLL. Brody King, PCO. taking out TK.
Look at that Marty Scurll and his new friends.
Uh-oh. Brody
Oh, Lord. That's a good friend to have. That's a good friend to have.
Marty Scurll has brought his friends to Philadelphia in the Ring of Honor.
What is PCO doing?
This is his other friend. Oh, my God. That's another good friend to have.
The PCO salt. And I've been wondering, on the shirt, on the gear, it said Villain Enterprises.
It's always just fun watching a 6.5-foot dude doing a moonsault.
Gentlemen, welcome to Villain Enterprises!
There you have it! Villain Enterprises!
So dope. Just so dope, man.
Yeah, between the logo and like that was the best line you could have finished with the promo and everything, and just like man, the homie just screams money every single time.
Yeah, and he's just very slick and awesome the way he does it. So the next clip I'm going to play is him and Nick Aldis having a conversation. You actually dropped this clip a couple weeks ago on all of our Straight Talk socials, which is absolutely fantastic that you did. I was going to play it, but it was an awesome lead into the eventual profile that we did. This was one of my clips that we were going to play regardless, but in case people miss it on socials, it's available on all the socials. But check out this clip. This is just showing his talking ability, hanging in there when it comes literally down to rocking gold. And what he wants, when he wants it, is nothing but to be the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, and I think this was the setup for this was Nick Aldis. He came out and he was looking for a tag partner. It was for some sort of tag tournament that's going on in the NWA. For the Crockett Cup. My goodness, when they brought back the Crockett Cup. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But they needed it. Nick Aldis needed a tag partner for the Crockett Cup. Out comes the villain Marty Scurll, thinking that Nick Aldis will acquire his new tag partner, and then that went very south very quick.
Well, first things first, Nick. I think you and everyone here knows that all my friends are dead. That being said, Nick, a lot of people don't know this, but 15 years ago, I gave you a phone call and asked you for a ride. And ever since then, we've had a friendship. We've traveled the road together. We've had the ups, we've had the downs, but most importantly, I knew it didn't matter where any of us was, you always had my back. And Nick, look at this. Look how far we've come. Both of us come from tiny little country towns in the United Kingdom, and we've gone on to be two of the most famous wrestlers in the whole entire world. Look at you. You're the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Look at me. I'm the freaking villain, baby. I basically run this place. Together, Nick, we could be unstoppable. And you know, it's because of all those reasons, all those points that you brought up, that at the Crockett Cup, I would love to stand in the ring with you. As your opponent, fighting you for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Nick, you have something that I have never had. Last year, I had to watch you fight off all challengers. I never got a shot. Why should I be exempt just because we have a friendship? You say you want the best. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone here would agree that I'm the villain, the top of the food chain.
I concur.
Years ago, I asked you for a favor, and on this day, I'm asking you for another one. Give me what you know I deserve, and that's a shot at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Well, that took an unexpected turn. But I wouldn't expect any less from a villain. You know what? I do want to be considered the greatest NWA World's Champion of all time, and the only way to do that is to defend it against the best in the business today. You are that man. On April 27th, you've got your match.
I love how classy that is. Like, it's like usually like it's always this thing of like there's a tussle, and then
the girl might have hit SCURLL with the belt. The announcer might have got inadvertently pushed out of the ring. Yeah. All kinds of things.
I love how they stick with NWA and how they love to stick with class all through and through. But once again, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, with the Crockett Cup. That is an ode to Jim Crockett Promotions. That was once when the NWA, before it changed to WCW, before they made that turn, that they had the Crockett Cup before that, and so it was their way of the NWA has been doing a lot of nostalgic things as of late, but bringing back the Crockett Cup is probably one of the biggest things that they've done as of late.
Yeah, it's definitely an ode to legends past. And again, the NWA title has its long line of lineage.
Yes.
And why shouldn't Marty SCURLL be considered for that category?
Exactly.
And, him and Nick Aldis are going to just tear it down.
They're going to tear it up.
It's going to be a great match to watch, for sure. But I'll play this clip right before we wrap it up, which is my honorable mention promo before we wrap it up. But I do want to get into a little bit of an open discussion very quickly. Not going to take up too much time. But you wanted to touch on a couple of things in terms of the losing record.
Yeah,
and in terms of wrestling today, because a lot of people have the misconceptions that if you're losing, you're not winning.
Yeah.
And as we can see, Marty SCURLL had a ton of victories, but he also had a ton of losses. And I said earlier in the show, even if you're losing, sometimes you're still winning.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the same point that you and I want to touch on, but I'm going to let you take the floor, because I did a lot of talking today. Go ahead.
And thank you, by the way. I think because we were talking about like Samoa Joe and guys like that if you're on the losing end of things, you're not really going anywhere. There's not really a whole lot to invest. There's all this and that and the rest of it. And
Revival would also be in that category too, because coming up to the main roster, loss after loss after loss, right?
Exactly, and that's the whole point now, in which I feel like this will shed some light. This will really shed some light, because it really did in my mind. It really helped me understand after discussing this actually with performers and actually really getting a chance to really understand this for what it is. There's a complete difference in when you have characters like the Revival, when you have characters like Samoa Joe, who are very, 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 very serious when it comes to the way that they're portraying their characters, and how they're when they say what they mean it, because they mean it and they mean business. So that's what they're trying to say is I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put you to sleep, or I'm going to go in there and I'm going to
boots to asses, baby, boots to asses.
Yeah, exactly.
Fist to faces.
And when you're losing all the time, then it kind of deflates your character. It really does. It genuinely does. But when you have a funny villain, like specifically, actually, I believe it was when this came to fruition for me was when I listened to a recent interview with Enzo Amore as well, when it really went over the top for me. After discussing with performers and also listening to an interview with Enzo Amore. And then discussing the concept that if you are a serious villain, quote unquote,
and heel.
If you're a real heel heat and you're looking for heel heat and you're just looking to be the guy to come in there and kick everybody's ass, and that's what you keep talking and then you keep losing, it literally just deflates your character completely, because that's your point. That's what you're trying to make, and you're not doing any of it. So there's nothing really to invest in. But when you're a funny villain and you're a funny guy, like you get to the point of all it takes is just being a villain, and this is just categorizing it in general.